Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Console Overwatch Multi-Tier Tournament. My name's Bullskunk alongside ChefBilly, and we are here in Finals Week. This time in the Tier 3 division as we have IME Moosemen taking on Redacted for a shot at the title of King of T3 here in the PlayStation 4.
It's been a long journey. We actually got to see Redacted. We saw them play Shiva in the semifinals.
Indeed.
That was a barn burner of a match. I was very impressed by what we saw from Redacted, being this number 6 seed going up against number 1 top seeded IME Moosemen. We haven't had a chance to really see them as of yet. And as we look at the Redacted roster, couple of key players that we saw, one of them being Dragonic Lava, the 13-year-old Wunderkind, absolutely showed up and showed out so big in that semifinal match against Shiva. Also, we saw Lasaga doing Lasaga things. I really was impressed with that player as well. And then Mwinksy, I am so sorry for butchering your name to the gods last time we were there. I got the pronunciation this time, and we're going to be just fine.
Apologies, Mwinksy. That was on us. That was on us. We got you covered this time, though.
Totally. So I'm
don't feel bad. You're not the only one whose name we have butchered throughout this CGL season. So I mean,
it's so true.
You can ask Beej on that one. Just ask Beej about Bullskunk butchering his name. There's a whole story to it. But moving on.
We haven't seen anything from the Moosemen. However, my nickname is Moose, so I already am inclined to like your logo.
The logo is fantastic.
Yes, fantastic. with the antenna on the igloo, that's freaking fantastic.
It's hard to see down in the lower corner, but I have faith that Moosemen will at least win one map, and the logo is a little bit bigger on the map pool screen. You'll get to see it. It's great.
Oh my gosh! So I mean, I'm very excited to see what this number 1 team has done, how they show up against somebody that we have seen in Redacted, taking out all the higher seeds above them on their way here. I believe that Shiva was number 7, so I mean that was very close too. They didn't look like a 6th and 7th ranked team though, respectively.
No, certainly, I agree 100%.
So that being said, they've chosen Ilios first for our control map, and here in the finals, we allow the top seed to give us the first choice of control. That's kind of a little bit of it to them as they, come in at the higher seed, and then we're going to go to loser picks maps after that, and then the person or the team that won the map will get the choice of whether they want to attack or defend. And then when we get back to control, should we get back to control, then of course, it's going to be loser pick. And then we'll go through this all again until we have a winner, Bullskunk.
Yeah, it's a first to 4 series, so plenty of opportunities to bounce back in if you go down early. And, important thing to note, once we say we do head that map 5 control, you'll then have Lijiang Tower and Busan to choose from, cannot repeat maps here in the map pool.
Indeed. So how about we go to sunny Greece, Bullskunk?
Let's head to beautiful, beautiful Greece.
All right, we're going to head in right now, and this is one of our favorite maps personally. You and I play offline. Most people are like, oh, you guys just cast together. No, we actually spend a lot of time in quick play too, when we're not trying to go on the ladder. This is one of our favorite maps, and Bullskunk is actually quite a good wrecking ball player.
Oh, you flatter me, sir.
I do flatter you. But let's hope that nobody is feeding here tonight as we get into the grand finals. We're going.
Wait a minute. Wait. Let's back up on that transition. 3 out of 10.
No, but we're going to start in ruins here. And I definitely love to see what they're going to come out with. And it looks like a little bit of Widow Genji might be the pick du jour here, as, a lot of kit reworks with that patch dropping yesterday.
Indeed. And speaking of that patch, we're going to get the new Diva on the other side from Moosemen. So that cooldown, the cooldown on the defense matrix has been dropped from 1.5 seconds to 1 second. So Diva in a very strong position. LaFlame fighting first blood, winning the Widow duel right out of the gate. And Moosemen taking up a very aggressive posture here on the point. Nice rotation from Redacted, circling around him over by Statue. As the Reinhardts are going to bust out here in a fight. Lucio getting aggressive, kind of forcing Redacted back onto the Mega. Draconic, the Wunderkind showing up, taking out the Widowmaker on the other side. As the brawl is just Two teams are just circling each other on this point like prize fighters. Mr. Chu able to take the mech down from the Diva. Falls it up with the kill onto the Lucio. Takes out the pilot. Mr. Chu chewing up the Moosemen and spitting them out.
Man, and look at that Dragonic Lava, the Wunderkind, as we went ahead and labeled him in the last match. He already has the Dragon Blade online. Surprised they're not running the Ano with it. That is the one thing that I would like to see, but Mwinksi right now already has the has her ultimate online and ready to go.
And Mwinksi's Valkyrie can do a lot to damage boost the Genji Blade. It's something we've seen a lot here in the past just week or so since this Genji buff. But, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to have an Ana every time. I mean, the Nano Boost definitely helps. But we've got Moosemen just getting aggressive, pushing themselves right back into this point. But here comes the Genji Blade. Blade finds one, but Flame able to keep him from chopping up any more of the Moosemen. But Mr. Chu getting right back into the thick of things. Graviton Surge ready to go. Charged up to 97, burning down the opposition. Redacted maintaining control.
Indeed, and I'm liking what Mwinksi and Lasaga on this Lucio. They are a very potent support combo, really keeping up the tank line of Redacted. Sunless is going to have sights available to them when they decide to use it. They're just going to go ahead and pop that right away. But they also made Bob from Moosemen swap over to a counter Zarya.
Sound Barrier Earth Shatter used for Moosemen as they push on to the point. She able to find a kill. Reinhardt getting into the thick of it as well, finding a pair of their own. And Moosemen threatening to take this thing right back from Redacted.
Indeed, and I mean, that was a very filthy execution onto NB Sunless playing the Widowmaker right now. You might want to think about maybe making a change here. We've seen a couple of clicks, but yeah, you go ahead and pull out the Cowboy a little bit more in the kit for them.
Speaking of the Cowboy, Deadeye online here for Moosemen as they got 15% on the board and counting. Big charge comes through. Reinhardt takes down the Genji. No more Genji Blade going to be built up for you. The Earthshatter from the other side. Redacted's going to find two with that. Only putting one back into the spawn. Oh, Mwinksi caught in a bad spot. Went in looking for a bold res. Gets burdened down, though.
Indeed, you know, and they invested the shatter into that. I'm not really... I'm not criticizing it. I think that you want to have a little bit more room to play around when you do drop that shatter, and you've got to watch out for the counter pin coming out of it, because I mean the dash through from Shi and Seikatsu was absolutely perfect.
Graviton Surge coming out. Earthshatter used from Moosemen as well. The combination going to yield a whole plethora of kills. Not even the Reinhardt can stand up against that level of aggression.
Yeah, and there was a anti-nade thrown in from Oblivion Anima into the middle of that, and Grav being held there, being anti, so no healing coming into that. That is an easy wipe, and now they're looking like they're going to get really close to the capture progress already made by Redacted. Redacted does have a couple of weapons at their disposal. I'm looking to see how aggressive they're going to get with this Graviton Surge.
Yeah, Redacted with a clear ult advantage. Moosemen needs to hang on long enough to get those support ults online if they're going to want to survive this Graviton Surge. Possible Blade coming out after it. Valkyrie used to start the fight here for Redacted as they push through the small room. They're just going to drop off the ledge onto the objective, making their way onto the point, but here comes the Blade from the other side. Nano Boost right there. She and Seikatsu looking for more. Finds two, finds both tanks with that. Now we're going to get Draconic pulling out his own katana, see if he can equalize back as the overtime wick starts to burn. Last hope here for Redacted to get an opening round win. Trying to burn down the Zarya, but she's just so elusive here, Billy.
Indeed, I'm really liking the swap coming in from Mr. Chu onto the Wrecking Ball. Going to be able to disrupt and really have the mobility to deal with this Genji. Man, Sunless has now also swapped onto the Tracer, so lots of mobility coming in here. You got to burn down this high charge Zarya, though. Otherwise, this is going to be a very fast fight, Bullskunk.
Oh,
I did it again. My fat thumbs.
That was not in between a team fight that time, Billy. It's all right. It's all right. Earthshatter comes out there. That's going to find one. Res is available as that sound barrier gets used from Redacted to keep them in this fight. It's an all-out cage match here on the Points of Ruins. Tracer coming back in for Redacted. Sunless trying to help the team burn down. Is going to take down the Reinhardt on the other side. Both teams missing their primary shielding. But Flame coming back on the same hero manages to win the Tracer duel. And it looks like Moosemen are going to walk away with this first point. But they still have a Genji left to kill. Oh, never mind. There goes Draconic.
No, the charge for Bob there was absolutely lethal. You gotta love seeing the high charge being able to be generated from the Zarya players. Both Zarya players really proving their worth there. The bubble management was really good. The Graviton surges were pretty good as well. I have to give the slight edge for that to Bob. 1, 2, 3, 4, repeating. But you know, this could bring out a different set of DPS heroes. You know, we could see a Pharah here. We could see a Reaper. Reaper would be very nice, especially with how brawly both teams are really showing themselves to be. Bullskunk.
Oh yeah, that was a very brawly engagement, at least on Ruins. Reaper could dominate. And can be a very difficult target for that Genji as well. If the Genji's the hard carry, looks like Redacted's pulling out a bunch of heroes that's going to be very difficult for him to lock down.
Indeed. Once again, I'm going to be watching Mr. Chu with the bubble management as we see these dash resets coming in from Shi and Seikatsu, really showing the worth of the Genji right now. And you got to love, you know, the aggression.
Yeah! Adhar had a big charge. Bubble there, but it didn't matter. Navy coming up with a huge, important pick. Taking down the Reinhardt. Here comes that Reaper. Picks off LaFlame. Bubbled up and ready to go. Does eat some pressure. Force the Wraith form out. Mr. Chu finding the kill onto Oblivion. And a big chunk of sustain missing here for Moosemen. Mr. Chu and... oh, can he teleport up? Oh, can't quite get the teleport off. Adhar able to find the kill, but it's Redacted finding the point.
Indeed, I mean, and already one Coalescence used and burned out by Mwingsi, the main healer for Redacted. That was huge to keep the players up and also put the pressure on the Genji, because, you know, Genji can't deflect those beams.
Absolutely. I think it's a really good choice for both teams to bring the Zarya, as a matter of fact, kind of countering that out. We do have the Graviton Surge and Earthshatter online here for Redacted as they look to hold on. Sound Barrier used from Moosemen. They're going to push in. They're going to find 2 kills right out of the gate. They're surrounding this objective and putting a lot of damage down, but they lose their Lucio, lose their Reinhardt along the way. 4v4 here on the objective, and Moosemen missing their shielding and now missing their Genji.
And missing a lot of their lives, too, as, I mean, the bubbles are not going to save you for long. They're not a long-lasting utility out of Zarya's kit. I mean, it does, you know, do the charging of her primary weapon, but man, you got to look right now. You've got you've got Dragon Blade available. You've got Nano. So I mean, Nano Blade is definitely on the board here as they come back and reset. And LaFlame is getting some really nice positioning, trying to change the eye level of Redacted.
I love this positioning, and here comes that Nano Blade. She's going to go in with the Katana, but the Sound Barrier on the other side made him a little bit beefy. Didn't matter in the end. She able to slice through Sunless. The rest of the team moving in and picking up the objective.
They have
somebody's got a touch. There you go. Everybody ran off the point there.
But, I mean, they got an extra 6% capture progress there, Bullskunk. That might actually come back and bite him in the booty.
It really could, because of that, that's that precious 85% mark.
Exactly, and I mean, we're looking at Shatter. We've got Coalescence available coming. We've also got a Deadeye. I want to see where NB Sunless sets up to drop the hammer and find out if they can do anything good with this.
Woo! It's going to be the Graviton Surge Deadeye combo up close and personal. LaFlame just sticking that right in the gut of all of Redacted. And finding another kill with the Peacekeeper on the back end. Good stagger to get more percentage on the board.
Exactly. Now, you know, the ultimate economy, though. We're going to talk about that right now because there's 5 almost available for the side from Redacted and nothing. The really closest thing right now is a Shatter from Adhar. Gosh, you've got to push into this and take that advantage as it is.
Ooh, it's a good shatter, though. It's a 3-man shatter. 2 kills immediately come through. Reinforcements there, ready to pounce. Moosemen looking like they're behaving like a hive mind right now, overcoming a pretty good ult deficit just right then and there. Now they'll have Sound Barrier online coming up on that Nano Blade once again as well.
Ooh, man, they've really got to do something to stabilize this as Redacted, because they're coming up on last fight territory. You know, that's a good exit kill there. 4 Navy incoming snipe on the Reinhardt. You gotta just bring it in. Here comes the Dragon Blade right now.
Yep, the nano boost a little late, but I think it'll still get the job done. Oh, Sunless slept out of his Deadeye off on the side. Beautiful play from Oblivion to devalue that entirely. We're going to get the Death Blossom coming out, but LaFlame able to shut that down. The Sound Barrier used to help keep the team alive through that ultimate. Now with 95% on the board, this is looking desperate here for Redacted.
They're not going to be able to touch.
Nope, you are correct, I am afraid. And that's a quick 1-0 lead for Moosemen here.
Both DPS ultimates were CC'd out of existence there. There was the sleep onto NB Sunless's Deadeye, and then the flashbang from LaFlame shutting down the Death Blossom, and that just, I mean, that's a nail in the coffin if I've ever seen one.
Oh, that was beautiful. A heck of an opening round there from both teams. Moosemen able to come out with the W.
Indeed, I mean, and I think right there, I think the support's really keeping up their tank lines. I mean, both sides are doing a very good job of it. I just think that the hive mind mentality that we're seeing from Moosemen is just that much more superior to what we're seeing from Redacted right now. However, it's just control. And you and I have the same kind of mentality when it comes to that. We think that, you know, control is its own animal, and when you get more into the more game and team-based battles that we're going to be seeing through the escorts, the hybrids, the assault maps, that's where the real war begins.
I will say, so far, Moosemen looking very coordinated, and that coordination, that hive mind, as we're calling it, that's what's going to serve you really well once we get into more objective-oriented style map types. But, I mean, your point is still incredibly valid. The control's certainly not indicative of how the rest of this match is going to go. It's just, I mean, you have micro metas kind of built in, and you can't really plan as well around a control map where you can come into hybrid and assault with some really good set game plans, set the pace of the battle.
Indeed, and you know, the next pick is what we think is the most crucial when we go into the hybrid maps. You know, I want to ask you, where do you think we're going to go?
Well, our options are Eichenwald, Kings Row, or Hollywood. I mean, Kings Row seems to be 9 times out of 10 the map of choice. But it's, given what I've seen, the strength of these teams so far, I mean...
It's Ride Zarya.
Yeah.
It's Ride Zarya.
Yeah, it's Ride Zarya with a Genji. I mean, I think Kings Row is a good bet for either of these teams, frankly.
You are absolutely correct. We are going to go to Kings Row. Mr. Chu apologizing to me in chat, saying that he knows that I love the castle. I do love Eichenwald. Thank you, Mr. Chu. But, you know, Kings Row, I mean, based upon what we're seeing right now, is absolutely the right choice.
Very considerate teams here.
Yes, you do have to let me know if they switch roles.
Yep. Let us know on role swaps. That's and then that's actually a good note to touch on. It is applicable. It is perfectly illegal to change up the roles between maps or between rounds, but you cannot do it during a round. So if you played attack on, or if you played DPS on attack, you can play support on defense, if I remember correctly. Is that right? Because it's considered between a round. I know, I'm kind of getting into the semantics, getting in between the writing, you know, reading between the lines here on this one, getting into the fine print, so to speak. But
yep.
I think that's correct.
It is correct. And we are going to go. We're going to go to Kings Row. We're also going to have a side swap here, as the side from Moosemen want to attack.
Ooh, I like it. I think defending is the more prudent pick. Going on the attack, that's the confidence pick. And that doesn't hurt my feelings in the slightest.
Yeah, we have this conversation quite a few times, and we just tried to say, you know, is your chest out, or are you that confident in what you're bringing to the match? And I really do like the attacker's pick here, based upon what we just saw on the control map. I don't see any reason why they shouldn't go out on the attack.
Gonna get some production things swapped around here. And another thing I like to talk about with Kings Row is this is a map of fundamentals. This is This is going to be a pretty good indication on what these teams can do as far as their base fundamentals of Overwatch. How do you rotate? How do you peel protect your supports? How do you put down aggression and keep your tanks alive? And how do you use your ultimates?
That is going to be the big question mark as we go into it. I'd really like to see some kind of double shield.
Yeah, and I'm right now. That's my curiosity as well. Can these teams play the double shield? Were they just using the Rein Zarya because of the brawly nature of Ilios?
I think brawliness is what's going to win the day out for either team.
It could. It could. I mean, a good double shield comp, though, you can kite back, you know, if let's say Redacted chooses to come back with that Reaper composition with the Rein Zarya, a good rotation and good peel can beat that every day of the week if you can maintain that 10-meter distance and find those picks, most importantly. You're all smiles over there. You're all smiles.
Mr. Judas asked me when we're playing on Paris.
Not today, sir. Not today. I gotta say, I love the sportsmanship from these teams. These teams, an absolute joy to work with.
Indeed, I'm digging what we've got going on here in the little chat. But I mean, yeah.
Well, as soon as the team's are ready, we'll head to jolly old England. You know, we kind of touched a little bit on that patch, but I mean, another thing to note with that patch was nerfs to Ashe and buffs to Junkrat, both of which could come into play here as we head to King's Row. That was interesting. Yeah, that's a little bit of a lag spike or something there. But yes, I'm not quite sure what part of that you caught. But yeah, nerfs to Ashe, buffs to Junkrat, the Dynamite taking a 2-second cooldown increase. So it's going from 10 to 12. And then Junkrat, they decrease the delay from which you can detonate his concussion mine, and also decrease the delay from which you can take control of Junkrat after using your Riptire, which I think is the first one is going to be, you know, it makes him feel a lot cleaner from what I've been told by Junkrat players. I'm not a big Junkrat player myself, but I have been informed by, you know, people who know better than me that it just makes him feel a lot smoother to play with.
Indeed. We have the readies up. Let's get to jolly old England here.
Let's do it. I'm looking forward to it.
Also, the missile activation from D.Va, it's been reduced from 1.25 seconds down to a flat second. Or I'm sorry, from like 0.5 to 0.25 seconds. So that one is going to make her feel a lot more, I guess, explosive and dynamic. That when you press the button, it's going to happen a lot faster. There's not going to be that half-second delay between when you press the left trigger to actuate the missiles. They're going to come out a lot faster. And I'm thinking that that's one of the bigger quality of life changes that they've made to her. Also, the defense matrix, you know, once again, it's a game changer. It can do so much work in such a little amount of time.
Yeah, the defense matrix is certainly the most impactful of the changes, but I agree with, I mean, that is a big quality of life change, just the responsiveness of those micro missiles. I think it'll help with trying to dive onto targets as well. When you want to do those quick burst damage with the D.Va, I think it'll help with that.
That and her movement penalty.
Yeah,
also,
the movement penalty on the blasters, yep. Well, it looks like we are going to get the newly buffed Junkrat and the newly nerfed Ashe, both on the defense. Here from Redacted, Reinhardt Sigma holding down the fort. We are indeed going to get the Rein Zarya from Moosemen as they take to the assault, bringing the Echo and the Genji to put the hurt down.
I like the Sigma pick coming out of Mr. Chu. This is going to be what an anti. Oh my God.
What aggression from Moosemen as well, though. Sunglasses and Chu able to pick it up a little bit and find a pair of kills of their own. So despite the early loss of their Reinhardt, Redacted managed to hold on for the meantime, but a slight opportunity for power play here for Moosemen.
Indeed, and the accretion is going to be the game changer right now. How accurate is Mr. Chu going to be with the accretion disc? I mean, and taking out Genji with the disc and a couple hyperspheres to the face. That's going to be a CC that Moosemen are going to have to try and counter.
Once again, Adhar getting very aggressive in there. The bubbles are to keep him up. Shielding is there, and I think what's cooldown's used, they didn't find a kill just yet. Okay, they did get She. All right, taking out the Genji. It's a good first pick. Now the bubble's coming back out. All right, nope. Attacks just kind of doing a little, dipping their toes into the water right now, Billy.
Indeed, and I mean, I'm looking to see, you know, will Dragon or Dragonic be able to land a massive tire onto the heads of the Moosemen, or are they just going to press forward and just start swinging?
Woo! Adar winning the battle of the Nano Reinhardts with a nice Earth Shatter to close things out there. LaFlame had moved in and found a whole host of kills with the Zarya.
That is a 4K from the Russian, and you gotta love it.
Gotta love it.
Duplicate online available to go into this next battle, and I'm thinking, you know, do you pick a support player? Do you pick a tank player? I think you go with something beefy. Maybe duplicating Mr. Chu on the Sigma might be the right play to get an early gravitic flux.
Yeah, that could be huge. Know that as far as on T2 and Tier 1 levels, we're talking Allen contenders, duplicating that Sigma, definitely the tank of choice. Though a Reinhardt dupe, I mean, an extra Earth Shatter never hurts.
We've seen it happen a lot throughout these playoffs, and it's never a bad call. I'm looking for this, looking for the blade to come in right now.
Here comes the Graviton Surge. Blade available. They're even going to need it. Sound barrier used from the attacking team as well. They're trying to push it and follow up, but despite all of that shielding, 2 kills come through from the defense. And I believe we're even up on the point. Look, be a 4v4, 4v5, and the attacker going to reset here.
Yeah, I mean, that's a smart thing to do. Just kind of kite back, you know, regain your composure, regain your team shape, and really decide, you know, how to aggress into this. I mean, Shatter's going to be available very quickly for Adhar.
Looks like the Reinhardt will be the duplicate of choice. Speaking of Shatters, Adhar still holding his for the moment. Oh, this could be huge indeed. That's both tanks annihilated by that Gravitic Flux, but she's striking back, finding 3 kills with the Dragon Blade, slicing and dicing on the defense. So despite missing their big beefy tanks, it looks like Moosemen might still manage to win out this fight. Indeed, she just driving out Redacted almost single-handedly.
I would like to see maybe I guess a more beefy hit scan come out to try and take care of this Echo, because Bob is just getting complete free reign in the air, or bring a Diva out.
Oh, I mean, it's Moosemen got whittled down really low, though no kills came through. The health bars are just nothingness. Adhar had invested in his Earth Shatter during that as well, and stopped just shy of point B.
Indeed, and that's a huge fire strike coming out from Navy. I mean, Adhar is still super low. He's had to run into the back alleys of Kings Road to find one of those witch doctors to get him healed up.
Well, now with that fantastic fire strike, Navy almost has that Earth Shatter online. We've got Riptire available as well, though. Draconic not going to get a chance to press triangle on that one. Gets deleted. Actually trades with the Echo up on that high ground. 5v5 here on the point. Both teams missing a DPS. Moosemen, they're just going to push in, but Graviton Surge used. Running into a Nano Boost and a wonderful heal made, and Moosemen struggling to whittle through these big bodies. She got the Nano Boost a little early and was not quite able to get the blade built up, and a Coalescence coming out from the defense is going to drive Moosemen back right into the arms of that Gravitic Flux.
What a play. What a series of events there, Bullskunk, coming from the tank line and the healing core. Lasaga putting in a massive healing nade and getting the Nano Boost through as well, keeping her tanks up with a beautiful combo of abilities there. And you gotta watch. Here comes the Dragon Blade in.
Yeah, no Nano for it this time. Just going in dry. Nevertheless, takes down Draconic with the first swipe. Oh, Mr. Chu responds and takes down the Genji 5v5 here on the point. Duplicate coming through. This time it is the Sigma. Already 65% towards that bonus Flux. Looking to try to put some pressure onto the back line. Aiming for that on, as a matter of fact. That Flux is going to come in. Up they go, down they come. Mr. Chu whittled down very low. Eventually burned down by LaFlame. And Moosemen, they're going to find point B here. Finally. But decent hold coming through from Redacted.
Indeed, but these late stagger kills are absolutely going to be destructive to the chances of getting a full hold here on point C, as the aggression being shown from the tank line, and also she on this Genji, not allowing the side from Redacted to really get set up and do what they want.
Yeah, Redacted still haven't really gotten their feet planted. Early Earth Shatter countered by one from the other side, and both Reinhardts go down. Sound barrier a touch late here from Moosemen, but they're going to go and throw their Graviton Surge, pick off the Ashe, pick off the Moira, move in. We have a Draconic Lava dropping a tire in from the other side. And it found one, but it's been all Moosemen from there. And I don't even know if there's enough reinforcements to stop this cart from pushing all the way home.
Yeah, Ryan can't stand there and hard shield the whole time. He's going to go down with a quickness. And minute 27 is what they're going to end up with here. That was a less than minute take of point C and the full 3 points here on Kings Row for Moosemen. And I think that their DPS choices is absolutely what got them through that map. The stall was very real on point B, and I like what they did in the street phase from Redacted. I just think that the DPS, there's not enough counter to She. She is getting so much free value on this Genji that I think that they've really got to think about either a Mei, throwing a Mei into the mix, making him have to, burn abilities down, impede his progress instead of just getting these dash resets back and forth. And, he's just slicing and dicing like a Ginsu knife from the 80s.
Making French fries in every which way. Sorry, a little harp back to some infomercials there.
Oh, man.
A little callback for you.
Yeah, we got to see how the side from Redacted are going to battle back now.
Yeah, Moosemen pulling out the Ryan Zarya on the defense. Genji and Echo, once again, not a whole lot of changes for them. Redacted showing us the Ryan Zarya as well. Still 5 seconds to change their mind. But as it stands, we've got a Genji and a McCree that look to be coming out at the spawn. Doors are open. Redacted's attack has begun.
Whew, and looking at the defense coming out of Moosemen, Echo, Genji once again. I like the duplicate choices from Bob. Very smart, very wise ones coming in.
Yeah, one was a Reinhardt, one was a Sigma that I saw, and I expected that trend to continue. Redacted, they're just going to get right into this thing, get right into the thick of it. Big charge comes through from Adhar, kind of puts him in an odd position. And he gets taken down, surrounded by Redacted. He stands no chance. Draconic does go down, but it's been all Redacted after that, finding yet another kill onto LaFlame. Bob does manage to pick up another kill on the back end, trying to come stall for as long as possible, but that is going to do it. Cars coming out of the garage.
Man, and that was fast. That was decisive. You love to see it. That's a nice clapback coming from Redacted. And Miwixi on the Ana right now, getting so much value. Actually was an assassin as well as a healer during that last engagement. The anti-nade going into the oncoming defenders. They had no chance against it because, the support just wasn't able to be there.
Both nano boosts online here. The defense going to use theirs first. It goes onto the Reinhardt, but he gets antied. Still continues to try to push forward. LaFlame finding the kill onto Navy. Bob able to pick off Lasaga. My goodness. I kept wanting to say lasagna. I think I'm just hungry, Billy. I don't know. In the end, Moosemen chasing this team all the way back into spawn. A good hold right here under the point B arch.
A good choice here, and hear me out before I hear the howls of protest coming from you. What if you brought in a Winston to act as your off tank right now and make this Genji have a second thought?
I actually don't mind that idea. I've advocated using Winston as an off tank before. You have to play him differently. You have to change your style of Winston play almost entirely to play as an off tank, but it could work. Adhar, speaking of could work, up on the high ground here with the Reinhardt, throws down the Earth Shatter, and they're going to pick off Sunless. Not quite sure what the defense plan is from up here after that, though.
I'm not sure either, and with both tanks ready to go, they can actually push into this, but this archway hold here, so classic coming out of Kings Row, something you got to look into.
Grabs a surge from the defense. Yep, and the blade in there as well. The sound barrier, well, it was not enough to keep half the team alive. The other half able to retreat into spawn, but that's where they're going to stay until their friends come back.
Indeed, and I'm once again, I'm going to point it out. They have to do something about the Genji. The Genji is getting so much free value.
And honestly, what could be a hot take here is bringing out that Brig. Realize that she does not overheal anymore, but still wonderful at dealing with these dive characters. Speaking of wonderful at dealing with a dive character, what a charge! Adhar completely kidnapping Genji, taking him all the way to the back by the subway, and denying that katana entirely. No kills from the Genji blade.
And you hate to see that. I know that he's getting into a very good spot right now. He's not a must pick though. I think, you know, the Brig would be great to come into this. There goes the nano boost on to Navy. He's going to start swinging with impunity here, and I want to see the aggression. Push up. Push into that.
Yeah, they've got both tanks. Redacted have taken down both the big BB bodies on the other side, and this is definitely the time to push forward. Go, 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 Redacted. Claim your space, my friends.
Go, go, Redacted gadget? That's what I wanted to say after that.
Go, Redacted, go. Sorry, that was my speed racer. Yeah. All right, Navy, 92% to shatter here, trying to hold down the back of point B. A Lucio duplicate coming through. The real Lucio gets taken out, so I guess that ended up being a little bit fortuitous, but was not fortuitous as the big Graviton Surge coming through from the attacking team. The blade from She was pulled out, managed to get one, but not enough to stymie this assault.
Indeed, I mean, LaFlame is getting very aggressive on this Zari right now, but no resources to speak of. I mean, they've got a Lucio in the back line just contesting for all he's worth, but that's going to go ahead and do it and get point B on the board for Redacted. A much better time, almost a minute faster than what we saw Moosemen do. So this is looking good for the side from Redacted to even us up.
Absolutely. We do get Draconic on the Junkrat here, trying to just throw down a lot more of that spam damage. And I like it. I like the swap. We're going to get Graviton Surge from the defense. Sound Barrier invested simultaneously to try to allow Moosemen to push forward, clean this thing up. Nano Boost thrown onto the Reinhardt in that endeavor as well, and clean up they do.
Yeah, but I think you maybe want to keep that little Nano Boost in your back pocket. I think it was maybe an overinvestment of ults, and look at where Mr. Adhar is hiding.
We'll have to take a look. Where are you at, Adhar? Where, oh, this is dirty. Oh, this is dirty. And he only ends up getting 2 with the shatter, and now charged out of position. Lasaka does go down, and the rest of the team able to push in and clean up. Navy was just too concerned with taking out the opposition's Reinhardt, which I could understand that, but it meant that the rest of the defense had free reign to clean up.
And, you know, the ultimate economy is definitely in the favor of Redacted right now, Bullskunk. You've got 4 online, almost a 5th. Not much other than DPS ultimates online for Moosemen.
Navy gets the nano, is going to run in, drop the shatter, but it's the Deadeye from the other side, finds first blood. Sunless does respond, and what a boop! The nano and Reinhardt into the pit. Good news for Navy is his teammates able to clean up around him, able to find some kills and keep this cart moving forward around the final corner. Now, can they push it all the way home as the times are coming up perfectly even right now, and still at least one more fight to go here for Redacted.
Indeed, they do. And I mean, the blade is going to be what we're looking for from She and Seikatsu. How are they going to employ this to defend their point here?
Graviton Surge tossed in, only finds 1. They're going to get a kill from that. Sunless picking up 1 as well. And it was what a counter punch coming through from Redacted. Excellent job of kiting back. Almost got it pushed home. Okay, there goes the Reinhardt. They will push at that final meter.
Yeah, 30 seconds difference between the two, and seeing how fast Redacted came out on the attack and captured point A, this 30-second differential may not be as big as people out there watching may think it is, because they just took the first point on their attack phase with a lightning quickness.
And I think this is going to come down to execution of point A. Whoever can put up a hold on point A could win this. If neither team does, then it's, well, how far can you get? But I think this is going to come down to the first point here. I see one of these teams making a stand.
Yep, and I mean, based upon what we saw throughout the streets phase and what we saw throughout the first attack phase, Redacted, I kind of favor them because they did hold off the first full attack onto point A from Moosemen. So I'm going to give them the slight edge here just based upon, you know, having Mr. Chu on the Sigma that was really good from them for their defense.
Moosemen coming out with the Ryan Zarya once again. Genji and Ash to put the hurt down. Looks like Ryan Zarya being shown to us as well by Redacted, though they still have a little bit of time to switch that up.
I think for the attack, it's going to be good. It's going to be fine for them on attack, using the bubble, getting the charge up, and the kills hopefully coming out of that.
Oof. Adar shanked that fire strike something awful. he was trying to put it to the bulk of the team, and he shanked it high. I mean, I've done that my fair share of times. All right, and Redacted once again getting hyper aggressive. They're going to push up, but I mean, speaking of a very forward hold from the defense, and Moosemen getting punished for it, immediately losing 2 members right off the bat. Redacted's just going to wait for Junkrat to get back in the battle and push back in here with a 2-man advantage.
I would be pushing right now.
I think it's exactly what they're about to do. 85 charge on the Zarya. Make that 100 for Mr. Chu as he leads the way into the back line behind Hotel. Draconic finding a kill, and it's going to be Mr. Chu getting the nano boost and all that extra damage. Finds the kill onto She. Here comes the first project capture. Now trying to turn the attention onto the Zarya. Zarya burned down. First point picked up here for Redacted.
Indeed, they did it in less than a minute. It was 59.2 seconds, but it was still
less than a minute.
Still less than a minute. I mean, but the overtime wick is a burning. So the ability to really get into the streets phase and be as aggressive as you want, even though they're going to try and do it, they're going to keep 2 on the cart to make it move a little bit faster, and I kind of like it. Also, the support that's going to be back there is going to have somebody to take care of them as well. So let's see how they do this.
Oh! Adar gets booped way up into the air, and it just put a big delay on that Earthshatter. Made it easy to block, but that Graviton Surge, that was not so easy to block. 4, 5 kills lighting up the feed. There goes the overtime wick. That's as far as Redacted will get here on King's Row.
Well, win condition set now for the side from Moosemen. You've just got to get a little bit past the archway. And you're going to get your second point here in our grand final for the Tier 3 division of PlayStation North American side. And this is going to be a test for Redacted. Are they going to be able to hold on this first point? We saw them have a very well-organized, well-executed first defense of point A. They actually sent back She through the agency of Mr. Chu and his accretions back to spawn a couple of times. So, man, I hope that the shielding is there. I hope that the healing will be there as well. And I like La Saga going over to the Baptiste. That's going to make it that much more difficult for Moosemen to really get any impactful push onto this point.
Yeah, I like the swap to La Saga for La Saga as well. You got the Immortality Field, of course, but Bap able to put up a lot of damage, and with the Amp Matrix can help his team in doing the same, especially when combined with this Torb. Torb through an Amp Matrix is surprisingly scary.
It's extremely scary and extremely fun to watch. I haven't seen a hammer kill come through an Amp Matrix yet, though. I wonder if that...
I don't think that's possible.
If that gets boosted, too.
That would be amazing.
Don't destroy my dreams.
I won't. I won't. I said I don't think it's possible, but don't take my word for it. All right. Redacted coming out on the defense. Hoping that push is enough. 70 seconds on the clock for Moosemen. Bubble out onto Adar, and he's going to try to push in here, get aggressive, put the pressure down. But Redacted, they're going to keep this hold out front. They're not falling back behind Hotel. They're planting their line right at the front of this point, and they don't want anybody to get past.
Indeed, and I like the Torb turret setup, and there was a for a second, whoa! What an accretion from Mr. Chu. Sunless taking down Adhar. That's 2 back to spawn. 45 seconds left on the clock, Bullskunk, and this is what we wanted to see. We wanted to see the shielding. We wanted to see to be able to kite back and to sustain. Right now, La Saga already has Amp Matrix. That's how much damage he has been healing.
And when we were talking about counters to this Genji, this Torbjorn, actually a very good one indeed. Final attack here for Moosemen. Soundbar used to start things off. They're going to push in. They're going to get aggressive. You've got LaFlame flanking around through the hotel, but the Immortality Field comes out. Big charge from Navy. It gets the Nano Boost on top of that all. Graviton Surge invested in, but countered by the Riptire from the other side. 2 kills for each team, and it's a 4v4 here on the point. So I make that a 4v5 favoring the attackers, but not anymore. Adhard goes down, Bob goes down, and despite being down a man early, Redacted, they're going to clap right back, use the lava to seal the deal on this thing, and it was indeed a 0.8 hold that'll get the win on King's Row, and it's Redacted tying up these series.
Yeah, I mean, and you got to love the Torbjorn pick there. I don't think that that Mooseman was expecting that to come out. I also don't think that they were ready to go up against that immortality barrier of La Saga. Absolutely crucial picks for both for the side from Redacted, and that's how you come back in a grand finals match, tying us up 1-1, Bullskunk.
Indeed, indeed, it will be Moosemen's pick once we head to Assault. We'll see you there. Y'all stick around. Well, welcome back, my friends, to the Tier 3 Finals here in the NAPS4 region. We're all tied up 1-1 as we head into our Assault map, and, well, Moosemen have chosen Volskaya to go onto the attack here. It'll go on to Assault. I didn't necessarily mean onto the attacking side, because it's actually been Redacted's choice, and they're going to choose the defense, speaking in that regard.
Yeah, I like this. I personally preferred to be on the defense first and see what kind of a benchmark I'm going up against. Right. When I get into my own attack phase, you know, you have the opportunity to kind of boom them too if you happen to get a full hold on Volskaya A, which can happen, especially what we just saw with the last minute extra inning stuff coming out of Redacted. That was a hell of a defense they put up for that 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Really was. Mr. Chu showing up on both the Zarya and the Sigma in a big way. Anytime Navy would go down, Mr. Chu was right there to fill the void. A very good job there in the tank role.
Indeed, and I really liked Sunless's Torbjorn pick there, getting the nice lava there to really seal the deal, but that turret was just making life hell for she and Seikatsu on the Genji. And, as we go to Volskaya, I'm wondering, do we see the Torbjorn come out again? Do we see La Saga stay on the very, very nice pick of the Baptiste? Because that was also a big reason why they stayed.
Yeah, big immortality field at the end. The first one was used a tad early. Second one was a lot more disciplined and had great impact.
Indeed. So let's go to Russia.
Bring your parkas. We're headed into the snow.
Can I get a coat or some mittens?
Some mittens. Do you use like the mittens like no finger holes mittens? Because I cannot tolerate those things. I have to have like real gloves.
I have to have real gloves, but I mean I'm also Canadian. Happy Canada Day, by the way, to
Happy
everybody. Happy
Canada Day. Yeah.
Bon fête du Canada, as we would say in Quebecois. It's today is Canadian Independence Day, and it was a very happy Canada Day that I saw all over Instagram and Twitter today. Very nice to see my brethren up north celebrating in such a fine fashion.
Oh, they don't miss a boot, eh? All right, that's enough of my Canadian accent. All right, moving on.
There is the death stare that everybody has commented on.
Redacted on the defense. Reinhardt, Sigma, Junkrat, Ash. A heck of a lineup here. We'll see if Moosemen can punch through it, as they're going to bring the Reinhardt Diva with the Ash and a McCree. So bringing up both of the Southern shooters here.
I know, I love the Southern Bale come out, and we see it from both sides. Who's going to get Bob first? That's one thing that we look as a benchmark, is how much damage is the TNT going to get. Mr. Chu doing very quick work onto LaFlame.
Immediately with the accretion and the Hyperspheres kill. That was nutty. We're going to be having to keep a closer eye on Mr. Chu here.
Indeed, but looking at the Ash battle right now, she going off of the Genji, going on to the Ash, already 40% to the Bob, whereas you see from Sunless, getting deleted by said she and Seikatsu. that's going to be the key for them to push forward, Bullskunk.
Yeah, despite missing their Reinhardt, I think they've got enough in the tank to go ahead and capture this. Flame and She getting into the mix in a big way. She coming up with a big, was it a 3 kill, if not 4 kill during that endeavor?
I think it was 3, but still, I mean, one of the unsung heroes that we haven't really mentioned very much into this battle right now is Oblivion Anima on the Ana. They have not swapped off that character once, I believe. Getting so much value with the anti-nades that they're just placing them in there on a dime. We got to watch out for the support line.
And that support line almost has Nano Boost ready to go. Soundbarrier not too far behind here from Moosemen as they head into point B. But Redacted, they've got that Rip Tire ready to go. Amplification Matrix, it's going to be online shortly as well. Redacted sitting in this far back left-hand side. Half the team up on the high ground, but not enough heals to keep Navy alive. The Mercy BAP support duo, that's one thing they don't have is a lot of burst healing. Tire and Amp Matrix coming out from the defense as they look to hold on here. Oh, a big Nano Shatter coming through from Adhar. 3 kills immediately light at the feed. Looking for the 4th on the Baptiste. Baptiste goes down. Oh, no, Billy. This is going to be a wicked fast time if they can clean up this point.
Oh, my goodness.
Woo! Woo! Yeah. 4 minutes and 55 seconds left in the time bank. Monstrous 2-fight wins, 2 points on the board.
Nano Shatter through the Amp Matrix. And just immediate deletion of Redacted. That there's no way you can really defend against that. I mean, what do you do other than try to hold your shield up? The shield would probably crack almost immediately. Okay, I have a pause request. So let's go back to cameras and talk about what we just saw happen. My goodness, Bullskunk, that was fast. That was lethal. And seeing the double hit scan opportunities come out from both She and LaFlame, they really took it to Redacted there.
Yeah, there's actually a bit to unpack here. So you hit a really important point in between points A and B, and that was Oblivion on the Ana, putting in just massive work, keeping the team up. We saw right there the fantastic nades, but also that perfectly timed nano boost, being able to get that nano built up, threw it onto the Reinhardt, and enabled the Reinhardt to go close out that fight. But another thing I was looking at is that DPS duo. Oh my goodness, they were clicking heads. I mean, that's LaFlame and She really starting to warm up here.
Indeed, and you got to think, we saw Genji on the first 2 maps. Now you're bringing out a new wrinkle into this and having double hit scan. That is going to be something that is going to maybe turn this match back around to Moosemen's favor. I don't know what they can do other than what Redacted can do other than maybe bring a Torbjorn out. Or, I mean, as crazy as it sounds, Symmetra might not be a bad option either with the turrets. Something to kind of stall their forward progress in, because there was no wall to be put up at all. I mean, May could have been a good choice for them as well. I mean, you had Deadeye come up. It didn't really capture anything, but I think it burst down the shield of a Navy coming snipe.
Right. Yeah, it broke the shield and enabled that Earth Shatter to get through.
I mean, but the rotations that they took too, they didn't all just, storm onto the point. They took high ground when that didn't seem to work as well. Once LaFlame got that Deadeye, there was hard shielding coming from Adhar. Once the other shield went down, I mean, it was game on, press forward, press triangle, everybody press triangle. And yeah, I mean, that is a wicked fast time, 4:55. That is one of the fastest times that you and I have personally seen.
Agreed. I mean, anytime the clock goes up after capturing point B, you did something special. That was wicked. And one other thing I think would be a good defense against the double hit scan is bringing out the Orisa. We're already seeing Mr. Chu with a fantastic Sigma. Give us some double shield with that Orisa. I think the Orisa might have a little bit more ability to control the cooldowns and control the pace of this thing. And Redacted, I think they need to slow this down a little bit, at least from a defensive side. Now, going on the attack, I think it's a different story. You got to close that distance, and you got to keep the pressure on. But Redacted first got to concentrate on that, and they've got to get these 2 points on the board and start some extra innings here. But past that, as far as shutting down the double hit scan, I think double shield's the answer, personally.
Agreed. I mean, and having the mobility of the Sigma shield really lends itself to keeping Orisa in her static state. I think the dynamics of the double shield against the double hit scan is going to take all the value out there. I mean, you're going to have to, lob the TNT over the initial Orisa shield and see if you can get any damage out of that, because there was no contest on that dynamite whatsoever. That's how fast they got. I mean, that's why Bob was available so early to G. So, I mean, didn't even have to use the butler.
Yeah, didn't even need them. Moosemen able to clean up on their own just fine. They brought their own brooms. They don't need a butler.
I mean, what do you do when that happens?
I mean, that was tough. Like, that was a wicked good assault. I mean, taking nothing away from Moosemen there, that would have been very difficult to counter for any team. When they're clicking heads like that, it's hard. It's hard to counter that back. That's why I'm suggesting perhaps a different approach to the shielding. I mean, they had the Ryan Sigma there, but I think the Orisa Sigma is the first thing that comes to mind. You know what? Another option is that D.Va.
D.Va would also be a very good choice here going into that, because, man, getting into the face of the DPS would be absolutely huge. I mean, it's the 600-point mech versus 200-point squishies. I mean, that you win that almost every single time.
And that newly buffed defense matrix, your micro missiles are more responsive. Give her a shot. Give the South Korean mech driver a shot.
I think that's a very good point there. I still want to see the double shield, though. I want to see, does Navy have that available to them?
And specifically the Orisa Sigma. I mean, we've seen some of the Ryan Sigma, but I think specifically the Orisa Sigma might be the way to go. And I agree. We don't know if Navy has that in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, we didn't see it in the first match either. He really dominated on the Reinhardt throughout the entire match.
Right.
So, Mr. Chu providing the off-tank abilities there, maybe even then, will we have it come back? Let me check the lobby real quick, as they say they are ready. Yep, he is in the lobby. He's in the game. So I'm going to go ahead and pause here. Got readies from both sides. So let's see what they employ here coming out on the attack, Bullskunk.
So after Moosemen picking up that wicked time bank, they'll go on the defense. We'll see how Redacted responds.
Ready for battle.
Oh, man. Let's see, 40 seconds left to get ready to go here. Looks like the side from Moosemen going to bring out, they're going to bring out Torbjorn and the Southern Belle again. Bob's going to go ahead and stick with the D.Va from the last round, and I like it. I like the mobility and the ability to chase down people. That speed reduction or the movement penalty while she's firing her main weapon, I think that is something else that's going to help her track down any stragglers and really get up in the face of the DPS.
Yeah, I don't think that can be underestimated as far as the effect it could have in overall gameplay and value that you get out of D.Va. Redacted pulling up with the Ryan Zarya once again and pulling out the Shimada brothers, put the damage down.
Lots of shield break potential there.
Yeah, especially from Hanzo, no doubt, no doubt. And there's only one shield for them to whittle down, so could work out. We'll see how they choose to approach. It looks like they're going to path around left side. A big aggressive charge from Adhar. He gets taken down pretty low, but Bob right there with that defense matrix to help keep him alive. Big nade coming through from Oblivion, but all the while, Redacted rotating around. They're going to try to plant their flag on this objective. Both Reinhardts going at it inside the box. Close quarters up and personal, and it's Adhar winning the duel, not just against Navy, but against La Saga as well. The defense thwarting this assault here, Billy.
Indeed. So, I mean, back to the drawing board now, but look at the ultimate economy. Adhar almost on Shatter. Sunless, though, almost has the Dragon Strike available, so that is going to be a very crucial matchup of ultimates. How much value will you get out of the dragons? There's a possibility to be eaten as well.
But I'm looking at these tank ults, and Redacted have barely done anything in that regard. We've got that Shatter, like you mentioned, also 80% to a self-destruct on the defense. The attackers, well, Navy just now crossing that 50% mark with that most recent Fire Strike. That one got eaten.
Yeah, I mean that's the beauty of a diva, is to be able to eat the damage coming in. That's the biggest part of her kit. And there's the nano boost on to Adhar.
Charge and counter charge. The Torb going in deep, gets whittled down by some storm arrows, but the Molten Core comes out. Molten Core able to find one. It's more importantly going to allow the rest of the team to go in and just do them dirty in the corner. That was avert your eyes if you're squeamish there, folks.
That was absolutely filthy. The nano boost invested onto Adhar didn't really get much value out of it, and really being boosted in there, speed boosted in by Fergalicious, the captain of Moosemen, getting a 3K out of the boot.
Now with Sound Barrier online, we've got the big Obnick Butler available, as well as a self-destruct here for the defense. Nice rush here. I love the rotation. Self-destruct thrown in to try to counter this great rotation from Redacted, and indeed they do. LaFlame finding 2, finding 3 with the Peacekeeper. Looking for more. Bob gonna steal that last kill from him. LaFlame had it. Give him the 4K. Either way, fantastic shooting there from LaFlame.
And it looks like we have run up into a wall, if you were the side from Redacted right now, as the turret of, well, I guess he swapped off of it now. The turret was doing so much to prevent the aggression coming in from Redacted. I think that this DPS line right now, I don't know how long you're going to hold on to this Dragon Strike, but I mean, it could be used to really zone people and then get your shatter down.
He's been waiting for Mr. Chu to get that Graviton Surge, and it's taken 3 minutes for it to happen. Speaking of, here comes the Dragon Blade as well. Blade only gets 1 before LaFlame pops off this dome. LaFlame finding a pair of kills in that before getting dispatched himself. 3 kills for the defense, 3v3 left on the point. And, well, it looks like Sunless is going to go ahead and try to make something happen. Mr. Chu just getting bullied on the objective, and now just 30 seconds left on the clock.
And you've had this Dragon Strike for almost 2.5 minutes. And you just have not engaged with it. I'm not sure what you're waiting for. That is a massive question in my brain right now.
I mean, I think they were looking for that Grav Dragon combo, and Chu just struggling to get that Graviton Surge built up. They just now came online before that last battle, and they had no opportunity to use it. Now forced to switch to ball. Redacted going back to the point. Navy is going to get the touch to start the overtime. But Mr. Chu left on an island by himself. The Sound Barrier forced in. Chu is going to go ahead and throw down that Graviton Surge, but the Dragon never comes out. And the attack just falls apart. Mr. Moosemen, the Moosemen taking a clean victory on Volskaya.
That, I'm scratching my head so much right now because dragons were available. You could have gotten a second dragon in the time that it took Mr. Chu to get the first Graviton Surge. I mean, maybe it's internet issues right now because he is the one that did DC and needed to reset their console. But man,
I was going to say that's a very uncharacteristic from Mr. Chu. I mean, we've seen that for 2+ or a full series and then a couple maps. Mr. Chu just absolutely performing and never failing to get work done until now. Took in 3 minutes to get that Graviton Surge built up. On the other side, though, DPS duo, Mr. Flame and She having a heck of a game. Flame coming up with 65% of the kills as LaFlame. Coming up with 65% of the kills there in that fight, if I saw correctly.
Yeah, you saw it correctly, and that's a lot of work put in. But I think the Diva was eating all the left clicks coming out of Mr. Chu, and that's why the Graviton Surge wasn't there. I think that the defense matrix absolutely shut down the entire attack of Redacted.
The same thing I think could be said of the Earth Shatter and the Reinhardt. Eating a lot of those fire strikes put the Reinhardt way behind in the ult economy. I'm telling you, this new Diva is going to be a force to be reckoned with once people figure out how to integrate her and where she's strong, where and when she's strong. Yeah,
and I mean, we saw pretty good play there from Bob on the Diva. Being able to, I mean, I think this, it instantly brings her back into the conversation about, is she meta? This absolutely puts her back into the meta right this instant. As soon as this patch dropped, she was automatically back into metas. I still want to see how she goes up against a double shield composition. That is going to be the real water test for this newly buffed Diva. But as we see it right now, she's working out just fine.
Well, and that's why I think Overwatch truly is approaching a point where they're getting closer and closer to the rock, paper, scissors between Brawl, Bunker, and Dive. And D.Va, I don't think anybody, well, it's that might be a little bit of an overstatement. I was going to say I don't think anybody's going to be 100% meta anymore, and that's not entirely true, but I don't think D.Va is going to be used 100% of the time in any situation, I think is really what I'm getting at. The trick is figuring out when she's going to be strong, and right there, I mean, against the Ryan Zarya, there was just so much value out of that D.Va. I mean, like we said, I mean, just kept them from building ultimate charge. I mean, what greater value could you get from a hero?
I can't think of any other hero that can do what D.Va does, other than maybe a Mei, and that's just pure space denial and the ability to freeze, the ability to instantly shut down an attack, with the Blizzard, or securing space. Mei does that as well, but I mean, we saw the self-destruct come out from a very good rotation from Redacted going around the left side.
Mm-hmm.
And she threw the self-destruct in there and got the crucial pick, and the team was able to coalesce around that and take out the rest of Redacted.
So true. Whereas on the other side, even with good rotations, they weren't able to stay in the fight long enough. They weren't able to find the use of their ultimates. It took them so long to get those ultimates built up. And then they ended up throwing them haphazardly at the very end and not really finding much value.
Indeed, and I mean, that's the beauty of D.Va once again. I mean, Bob really did a lot of work, not only on the defense. I mean, I think the defensive side was much better, but I think the attack also denying a lot of that damage coming in really left Redacted on the behind foot the entire map.
Yeah. I just want to go ahead and clarify. I think we're just going to call Ashe's ultimate the Butler for the rest of this series, not to be confused with the player named Bob. So just wanted to put that disclaimer out there for all you folks at home.
Okay, looks like we're going to get a side swap here as we're going to Rialto.
Ooh, Rialto, okay.
That is what the side from Redacted has decided to go with, and Moosemen said, we want to defend first.
Not surprising here on Rialto. We've seen teams just choose to attack all series long. But once you get to Rialto, it's so defensively strong that you want to see if you can put up the fuller hold as a start.
Indeed. I mean, we've got the two main areas that we always look at. We look at getting around the first corner here in Rialto, and then, of course, the corner of death, L'Angolo della Morte. And I'm really looking to see how the Redacted squad is going to come back after that dominating performance from Moosemen.
I am very confident that they will be able to respond. We saw them absolutely show up on King's Row when they were down 1-0. And, I mean, just my crystal ball is telling me this one's going the distance, Billy. That's what I'm speculating.
I mean, you're not going to hurt my feelings if we do that.
Certainly not. Certainly not. Me either. Did we get any swaps coming in?
I have not seen any swaps come in as of yet.
Okay.
Let me take a peek here as I'm trying to get the lobby set up. Let me ask real quick.
We'll just take a quick look at our map pool here. You can kind of see our history. See the progression so far as we're headed into map number 4. Again, in Rialto here, it's Redacted's pick. Hoping they can bounce back type of series.
Yep, and looks like we're not going to have any swaps in from the Moosemen. Let's just let me know they good.
Very nice, very nice.
Just waiting to hear back from Dagwood for Redacted. And then we'll go ahead and go to Italy and find out how this is going to shape up. I'm also echoing the back and forth nature of this. I think that once a team, whether it be Moosemen or Redacted, once one of them wins 2 maps back to back, I think that's going to decide your champion.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, that means our teams are just fighting for momentum, right? You want to get that momentum on your side and carry it through to the crown. And that's, so far, really neither team getting it. It just seems to be one map here and there as we head into map 4. It has been back and forth so far, at least.
Indeed, and we're going to go ahead and find out what Redacted is going to bring out on the offense here as we go to beautiful, sunny Rialto.
Yeah, don't take
it's
our
a beautiful
word
map.
for it. Oh, it is a beautiful map. It is a beautiful map. Well, let's wait for these teams to show us what's going to happen. We can speculate all day long, Billy, but Truth of the matter is, it doesn't mean squat. What matters is how these teams perform, and that's what I'm anxious to see.
Indeed, and I mean, this is one of my favorite maps here, and I think it lends itself to a little bit different compositions. We haven't really seen, except for on Ruins, we haven't seen a true sniper. We've seen Hanzo come out and not be very effective. Ash, you know, with the gun down sights, yeah, you can call that a sniper as well, but not seeing the damage boost from a Mercy. So, you know, Widow could rear their head here.
Absolutely, and still 15 seconds to change their mind, but it's looking like Sunless from Redacted is actually going to pull out the Widow. Might even get the double sniper composition here.
I like it. I like the aggressiveness of it. Now, do you get the frags? That's the real question.
Well, the Reinhardt D.Va defense, well, okay, they were showing high ground. Adhar going to go ahead and drop down to the low ground, hold this front corner. Sunless sitting up on the balcony, top left side, looking to clear off of the opposing balcony. Fergalicious decided to go take a swim. Must be a little hot out in Rialto. He needed a dip. Unfortunately, it means no more speed boost here from Moosemen, and they're retreating all the way back into Courtyard. Redacted senses the opportunity, and they're going to push forward, smelling blood in the water. D.Va caught off on the flank angle. Okay, able to burst up out of there. Use those boosters to find safety. And, well, Redacted now answering back, finding an opening kill here as the team's enter Courtyard.
Yeah, I mean, LaFlame taking out, wow, that was a shot from Seikatsu, to say the least.
It was, and a nice dynamite to follow it up. That allowed Adhar to go in and find 3 kills. Just so winging down onto the bulk of Redacted there.
Yeah, and I think that the hit scan right now, if we're being completely honest, right now, the hit scan players from Moosemen have an edge over what we're seeing from Redacted, and I think that, you know, they got to sharpen up their focus just a little bit. But I do like the swap now. Dragonic going over to the Reaper, going to try and deal some damage to these tanks.
Oh, Adhar was waiting for the flank shatter. The Reaper just kind of inadvertently screwed up his plans. Oh, no, then he just jumps down into the thick of Redacted. They're happy to send him back to spawn. 6v4, Redacted charging forward, looking to completely bowl over the Courtyard here, finding a pair of kills along the way. Flame does pick up an exit kill. Well, his exit, that is. But I think that's going to be about it. The stacker was there, so Moosemen only have 4 people as they look to come back in and recontest this point. But an Earthshatter invested from Moosemen. That one looked to get blocked. Now the Nano Boost Earthshatter from the other side. That one not so blocked as it finds 3 people. 1 kill comes through with a little help from the Reaper. Self-destruct thrown in as well as a Bob from the defense to try to help stabilize on point A. But I don't know that Moosemen have the reinforcements here.
Bob does get the Butler does get a kill though, and that's a nail in the coffin. But that's a huge gravitic flux coming out.
It is, and that kill was onto the Reinhardt, so a very important kill, and indeed it will allow Moosemen to stabilize, throw in a nano boost onto Adhar as he runs back into Courtyard, cleans up onto Mr. Chu.
Gets slept for all of his work there. And, man, Sunless needs to really get a massive Deadeye here to really turn around this fight, because, I mean, the stall was real. That was an absolutely fantastic Bob thrown in by She. And, I mean, they were, like, within a meter of capturing
Yeah.
him. The stall is real.
I thought Redacted had that one for sure. To talk about stealing it from the clutches of defeat, Moosemen coming back in with a big hold. Now, another Earthshatter ready to go here for Adhar. He's going to go ahead and drop it immediately. That's a 4-man shatter. That is huge. 2 kills immediately lighting up the feed. The Reaper able to phase out, but now just out there all by his lonesome. Mr. Chu can't even survive that assault. That was brilliant.
All by myself.
Oh, Reaper feeling a bit lonely.
Yeah, I mean, but, you know, the shatter being used to great effect. But once again, it was an anti-nade from Oblivion that antied almost half the team of Redacted, and LaFlame going on a sneak little flank here with the Deadeye in his pocket. He could drop this from behind them and take down so many people.
He needs to act quickly, though. Otherwise, they might just turn the corner, which I think is exactly what's just happened. Oh, he might still be able to find one. Oh, he does! The Reaper, who is holding Death Blossom, backs into his line of sight. He's able to pick off the Pilot Diva with that as well. Navy charges it from the front, and it's just a squeeze play coming through from Moosemen. Adhar does go down, but with the overtime wick burning, I'm not sure Redacted has enough. It's just an erase to stand on point. Can they be the hero for Redacted? No, the teleport in. Oh, what a teleport! Oh, the Death Blossom gets interrupted, though. The flashbang right there on top of him. And a big full hold from Moosemen here on the defense.
Man, and we saw Mr. Chu bring the Orisa out. So we're running a variant.
Yeah.
We're running a variant of the double shielding, but just the flank from LaFlame going all the way out around the river and just, and crouch walking. So the footsteps wouldn't be heard. And yeah, the DPS right now carrying the side from Moosemen. Got to give it up to the healers, though. My goodness, those anti-nates coming in from Oblivion, they're filthy.
Yeah, I've been an absolute all-star all night on that Ana.
That's an MVP candidate for me right now, by the way, just so everybody knows. I'm going to start talking a little bit more about my MVP picks during the matches as I see that going on, instead of it being like a kind of a shock to people when I say, hey, this is my MVP pick. I'm really liking what this support line is doing. We're not seeing, the sound barriers being thrown out by Fergalicious, absolutely crucial in keeping the team up. And man, the nanos and the antis from Oblivion are just absolutely spot on.
Well, now Redacted hoping they can put up the fuller hold indeed. Going on to the defense with the May Junkrat. Bringing out the Orisa with the Diva. Very interesting tank combos coming out of Redacted here on this map.
Why wouldn't you bring the Sigma here?
Yeah,
it would be the most harmonious.
I'd have to agree with that, but hey, Mr. Chu's been outstanding all series long. Well, barring Volskaya. We'll see if they can pull out a miracle here, because it seems like Redacted does need a miracle if they want to tie up this series.
Yeah, and they've taken a very passive defense here.
Very.
Deciding to hold behind the second corner here. I'm not massively in favor of this.
Adhar coming through with a charge, trying to get the Orisa, but she was able to fortify up. The Maywall prevented his retreat. So the Reinhardt down here for Moosemen. We'll see if they continue to try to press this assault. No, that's going to prompt a reset here.
I liked the reset. I also like, maybe the positioning was more favorable to them there. Being able to use the architecture of the walls here and the payload itself, denying a lot of damage coming in.
We got LaFlame 93% to that blade. That could be the one to unlock everything here. Valk used from the defense. It looks like an Ant Matrix thrown down in the back as well. The Immortality Field used early back there, but they're able to wall off Adhar. He can't escape once again. Good walls coming from Sunless here, who now has Blizzard online for the next defense.
I like the May pick, and this is what you need to see from the side from Redacted, is the ability to swap their compositions up, especially in the DPS department. I really like this May pick here. The walls are going to be huge. The Blizzard, should it not be eaten, will be absolutely huge as well.
Yeah, perhaps Sunless is the miracle that this team needs. Once again, trying to split off the Reinhardt from the rest of the pack, but here comes the Butler, here comes the Genji Blade. Blade got one, everybody else goes down, and Bob eats that Blizzard! Are you kidding me? Massive big brain coming from Bob on the Diva, devaluing the biggest chance for Redacted to win this engagement. And now, Moosemen, they have their sights on victory square here, Billy.
Indeed, but they do have a tire to defend against, and depending on... Oh,
what was up? I didn't even notice him back there. Oh my gosh, Adhar surprising everyone with a 4-man shatter, 3 kills just outside the spawn, and Redacted can't even get out of the Opera House before this map is over. Oh, that's 2 wins in a row there for Moosemen. They're on championship point.
They are on championship point, and what a standout performance from Adhar on that map. Getting the 3K naked, no abilities put into him, getting a 3K naked, and then the flank shatters, the flanks fire strikes, taking the game-changing ult out of the picture completely with that fire strike. That tire could have really spelt some major damage to the side from Moosemen, but I mean, really well-aware plays coming from the tank line of Moosemen.
Oh, yeah, eating that Blizzard. That was, like, things were already kind of in Moosemen's favor there. They'd found a couple picks. They'd thrown the Blade in, but the Genji had gotten picked off. And then eating that Blizzard, like, that was the turning point right there. That sealed the deal.
I mean, nom nom for the diva there.
Yeah.
Getting her Blizzard from Dairy Queen.
Delicious.
Delicious.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. It's going to be Redacted's pick, and we're headed to Control. They have Ilios or Busan to choose from. We'll see you there as soon as we find out. Welcome back to the Console Overwatch Multi-Tier Tournament. We are here in the Tier 3 Finals on PS4, where Moosemen are leading 3-1 in this first to 4 series. It's going to be Redacted's map pick, and they've chosen Busan to try to start their comeback, see if they can win 3 in a row and take the crown. It's been an interesting match so far, Billy. We were talking about the off-tanks during our break, and this, what started off as a really dominant performance by Mr. Chu, Bob answering right back in these last 2 maps.
And it's breaking out the diva that has been the difference. Mr. Chu having to choose quite a few different tanks throughout Rialto, both defensively and offensively. And I think that's what we really, that's when you see that they're being made uncomfortable. The panic picks or the exotic picks. Ryan Hogg is not a very cohesive tank line by any means. I know that you're probably trying to get an environmental there over the bridge, but I think that if you come out Rhine Sigma, we saw that they do have the Orisa in the pocket. So, why haven't we seen an Orisa Sigma, double shield meta pick out of Redacted right now? But on the other hand, as we're also thinking about what we're seeing, we've seen some very interesting healing comps coming from Mwinksi and Lasaga.
Yeah. We
saw a Mercy BAP at one point, and that's just not enough healing to keep your team up. I know that you're probably using it for the res, but it's not that impactful of an ability, and it's on such a long cooldown. Do you really get that much value of it? But Oblivion Anima, standout performance tonight from their main healer. Haven't seen them go off of the Ana all night, and why would you? With the sleeps, with the antis, with the nanos, absolutely enabling her team or their team to be able to aggress and do what they want to do.
The outstanding performance from the Ana, from Moosemen. I mean, just purely outstanding. But
yep. I mean, it shows you don't have to swap 4,000 times.
Correct. I mean, you can do one thing and do it well, and that's what we've seen from Oblivion here tonight. And we'll be definitely keeping an eye on Bob here, the off tank from Moosemen, as we head into map 4. Keeping track of that Mr. Chu versus Bob matchup that we've been seeing.
Indeed, and we're going to Busan for our next control map 5 for the night. And this is what Redacted chose. And I think that they have the ability to turn this back around. They just got to really get their compositions right. And as we head to Mecha Base, the brawl is going to be real here. I mean, Mr. Chu could bring out this Zarya again. I mean, very versed on the Zarya, very well controlled on the Zarya, but I think that if they bring the diva out again, if Moosemen bring out the diva again, they're going to have to focus the diva down first.
Well, it looks like Moosemen showing us Ryan Hogg. So it's now Moosemen showing us the unusual tank lineup. With Redacted going to the Ryan Zarya. Both teams choosing McCree, but we're going to get Doomfist from Moosemen and a Hanzo out from the other side. Oh, and look at the healer core for Redacted. I like this a lot more than what we've seen throughout the night. The Moira Brick.
Indeed, Oblivion not choosing a character yet.
Yeah, do we need a pause?
I have not seen anything from the teams yet, so...
Okay, there we go. There's the Ana. Oblivion back at the controller. Get your butt in this fight. Your team needs you.
Now, we did see a couple of substitutions coming in. Beastie Gunner coming in for La Flame in the DPS role. Also on the other side, we have Gamer Inferno coming in for the Wunderkind. And, so we've got a couple DPS switches for both teams.
Well, Redacted taking advantage of the Ana being missing. They're going to get first control started, but now Moosemen coming back with a vengeance. Bob picks up a kill. They're going to push onto the point, find the kill onto the Reinhardt. Zarya's going to be next. Nice hook. Pulls her into deep trouble, and back to spawn she goes. Moosemen with a quick flip on this objective.
Indeed, I mean, that was only 13%. And, you know, they licked their wounds, got back into the battle, and already getting the progress started for themselves. And Adhar already has a shatter available, Bullskunk.
Yeah, nutty stuff. Bob already 65 to that whole hog as well, compared to Mr. Chu's 43 to Grav. And this has been a battle of the tanks. Good news here for Redacted. Sunless have been putting in some work. They're going to need Sunless to keep popping off here. They need Mr. Chu to get into the fight as well. We'll see if the Deadeye could be the ultimate to swing this thing. Oh, it's a 6-man shatter! What on earth was that, Billy? Holy cow!
He got it! He dropped it! Oh my god!
Nope, it was the Earth Shatter. It was the Earth Shatter that was the difference maker here, folks.
Shatty, Shatty, let's go!
Yep, that might end up in a top 10 clip. That was awesome. Now big charge. Nano boost onto Adar. Has got all the confidence in the world. Got to be careful of that data from the other side. Forced to push that shield up. Coalescence invested from Redacted as well. But here comes another 6-man shatter. What? What on earth? Holy hell. Adar just laid out 12 people in as many seconds here, Billy.
Oh, and the crouches are real oblivion. Many tactical crouches onto Redacted there. Ultimate disrespect.
Oh, man. And speaking of ultimates, not much to work with. We're going to have a couple take ultimates from Redacted as they push up the pit, but Sunless already eating a ton of damage. We do have the Grab Dragon combo available to him. Oh, and a 3-man Deadeye counters the Earth Shatter from Redacted. The Graviton Surge comes out, but the Dragon's not available. The Hanzo was already back in spawn, now forced to launch the Dragons from that spawn just to have any hope as the overtime wick starts to burn. Good news is, I think that Moosemen got a little split up there. Navy able to take advantage and get this flip. Whew, what a crazy series of events there.
That's what I have for my analysis there, ladies and gentlemen, as we've seen 12 men laid out in 2 separate team fights. Man, there was a meteor strike was invested in that first fight, so that's not available. I think they may have overdone it on the ultimates, just a little bit.
Yeah, Moosemen definitely got a little hubris going on there towards the end of that engagement. Got split up and ended up getting picked apart. Oblivion falling early in this fight. I think that's just going to prompt another reset here from Moosemen as they back up and kind of recenter themselves a bit.
Indeed, and you know, looking at what they're bringing out now for the side from Redacted, they've got the Orisa.
Oh, that's a 4-man shatter from the other side. Yeah, Coalescence thrown in to help mop it up, send everybody back to spawn, and Redacted answering back in a big way here.
The word I want to use for what we saw with those two big shatters is cockiness. I think there was a bit of cockiness into that. And, I mean, the compositional shift that we've seen here, you know, bringing in a second main tank, being able to control the field, that's what Mr. Chu is providing, and I'm loving it.
And now, it looks like Moosemen are going to try to take this point back, reset the pace of this battle. Dragons and Deadeye invested in. As Sunless able to find a pair of kills before eating the right hook from Beast Gunner. Now Beast Gunner trying to take down the brig. Could be a difficult endeavor for a Doomfist, but it looks like he's up to the task. Oh, somehow the brig able to survive. Oh, it's the rally, keeping the brig alive through all of that. Another Earth Shatter come down from Adhar. That's going to find both supports. Both supports do eventually go back to spawn. 99-99 on the board. Overtime wick is burning, and Kill Feed just lighting up all blue here in Mecha Base. And with the kill onto the Wrecking Ball, it should start the overtime wick going down once the cap comes through.
Indeed, I mean, and that was a lot closer than you may have anticipated based upon the first half of that map.
That I think was the most explosive round of Mecha Base I have ever seen, Billy. That was awesome. That was just nothing short of awesome.
I mean, we're going to have to go back and see if that was within a minute, because if it was, that has to be a minute clip into our archives. That has to make it onto the top 10. 2 6-man shatters within how many seconds? That's the real question. Chat, let us know how fast that was.
Oh, that was something special. If it was indeed, and I think it was, but within 60 seconds, that might as well just be number 1. We'll see how the rest of the finals weeks go, but that was one of those spectacular plays I have seen all year.
Whoo, man, Adhard, I mean, the cojones have to be the size of boulders to be able to do that.
Here we go, into downtown. Redacted looking to bounce back. There was 99.99 on that last one. Great performance. They come out with the Orisa Reinhardt once again. I like this look. I like Mr. Chu on this Orisa. Big ante into the pack, though. Oblivion once again showing their skill, but it's going to be Gamer making the swap over to the Genji, something we haven't seen since early in the round. Looks to be the difference maker here. Finding early kills and helping whittle down the rest.
Indeed, and I mean, this is the substitute that has come in and playing the Shimada Ninja, the Cyber Ninja, as we all love to call them. And I mean, that's a really good, smart pick, and can deny a lot of stuff that D.Va wants to do as well.
Now, it looks like Moosemen kind of slowing down the pace, slowing down their approach. Okay, they're ready to go. They're going to push on to point. Big charge from Adhard. He just gets kind of stopped in his tracks there. It is going to be She on the high ground, finding first blood in this engagement. Now looking to put the attention onto the Genji. Deflect comes out early, so it means it's time for an uppercut. You can't deflect that. And the Genji's in big trouble. Gamer goes down. 2 kills here from Moosemen as they look to push onto the point. Brig, with their back up against the wall, cannot survive the onslaught, and the flip comes through for Moosemen.
I think that the Lucio Brigitte is not in the same place that it used to be. And the shielding, the ability to regenerate it is 2 seconds longer if it does happen to get broken down. Also, the regeneration of the shield is also another 20 points less per second. So I don't know if you get the same value from it. And look at this, another massive anti-nade going into Redacted.
Oh, and a big sleep! Oh my goodness, what a sleep! That sleep dart was from literally across the map, left the Lucio just prone and awaiting a meteor strike from above, coupled with a beautiful Deadeye, and that was a very clean team fight there for Moosemen.
Oh, I think the mech, the self-destruct was just to get the mech back.
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh,
here comes the Earth Shatter as well. Adhard not taking his foot off the gas as they continue to put the pressure down. Another 4 kills and a quick reset here for Redacted. But Redacted coming back with a full 6-pack here, Billy. And look at the ults for Moosemen.
Yeah, nada.
Nada. They have spent everything in their bank. And here comes the Shatter from the other side, coupled with the Blade. Shatter, I believe, got 3. Blade's got to pick up 3 as well. And Redacted answering right back. They're going to clean up this Orisa and recap this point.
Whoo, man. I mean, they only used 2 into that fight. Or, I'm sorry, 3. They did pop the rally there.
Yeah, they popped rally as well.
So, I mean, making themselves extremely beefy. But, man, 3 just to take the point back. I mean, it was a dry fight for Moosemen. So, Adhard already almost to another Shatter. I don't know what he is doing so right on this Reinhardt right now to get that kind of economy, but please let me take lessons. I need lessons.
That was a great move to try to drop over the top, but ran into a fortified Orisa supercharger coming out. Nice sleep onto the Genji, but no follow-up on that. The Doomfist trying to go around on the flank, gets picked off. Lucio goes down. 2 kills here for Redacted. And that's going to prompt a reset from the other side. We got the flank shatter from Adhard, but I think the hubris once again getting the best of this highly aggressive main tank, as there was 0 follow-up to that ultimate.
Nope. I mean, I'm going to call it again, Oblivion with these nasty nano or anti-nades coming in. Really stopping Sunless in their tracks, and he's holding on to this Deadeye forever.
Yep, she's got a Deadeye of their own. We got the Genji Blade online, ready to go. In fact, the Dragon Blade's going to come out now. Katana is going to cut through Oblivion, cut through Bob on the pilot. Looking to get the Reinhardt. Reinhardt goes down with a little help from Mr. Chu. And Mr. Chu just chewing him up and spitting him out right now. Overtime Wick's going to burn down. We're all tied up here on Busan.
This Orisa Reinhardt composition has come out.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest matter of change that we're seeing from Redacted, slowing down the pace.
And immediately paying dividends.
Yeah, and also, seeing a different player play the Genji, getting lots of value. I mean, we saw a couple of multi-kill Dragon Blades coming out from them. No nano needed. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I think maybe the Brig pick might be a little bit questionable, especially here as we head on to Sanctuary.
It just means Redacted's going to have to keep the aggression on, and which is difficult because, like you said, they're kind of looks like they're slowing down the pace a bit, but they need to get the kills. They're not going to have the sustain that the Ana is going to provide. I mean, even with just the heal nade, the Lucio healing then goes through the roof of that AoE heals. So we'll see what happens. Doesn't look like a whole lot of changes from either team. We are going to get a Beast Gunner onto the Hanzo this time around.
And also bringing out the Southern Belle again.
Indeed.
She and Seikatsu. Look at that anti-nade! Catches
Just
4.
Look at all the purple up in the top right-hand corner, and look at those health bars subsequently dropping very low. Both tanks under half health here for Redacted. And Moosemen, well, they're just going to push up and kind of slowly but surely try to force Redacted off the point. But Gamer has other plans, dropping into that back line, pulls out the katana, finds one, looking for more targets, but there's none to be found. As it looks like, Sunless took those targets right out from underneath him.
Yeah, and that's a great fortify coming out of Mr. Chu. Still haven't captured the point, though.
No, Fergie was hiding on top of the drum there.
That's a good thing about having an Orisa. You can pull the frog down and murder them and have frog legs for breakfast. So, I mean, ultimate economies right now, you're looking at a 2-to-1 advantage in favor of the Moosemen. Now it's even up. Rally's really going to be able to beef them up into this next fight.
That opening pick is massive right there. And that's going to allow the backline to keep their focus on the front. Make sure Oblivion's got those sights trained on that nanoed Reinhardt, keeping him in the battle as he goes in, tries to punish this Brig. Does get the kill, and the kill onto the Orisa to boot. Follows it up, and just swinging away at Har, cleans off this point, and flips it right for Moosemen.
And they invested both of their support ultimates to try and keep the point there. That is hard to see, man. And it looks like Lasaga deciding now that bringing out an Ana of their own wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing.
It's a good pick. I mean, there's not really anything trying to dive their backline, so the Brig value, I mean, you're not going to give them as much since you can't armor pack the Ninja. That's might as well swap it off, heal your tanks. 3 kills, 4 kills here for Redacted as they push in over the point. Some dragons from the other side, but it wasn't enough to hold Redacted back as they come storming off that left side. Great flank rotation to come back in for the retake.
Indeed, and there's a very nice anti-nade of their own coming from Lasaga, denying any kind of healing and any kind of sustain on the point. So, we're tied up and now passing 40% for Redacted, and they're looking much nicer now, bringing in a different hero to do the healing. The 2 off healers, very head scratchy for me at certain points, especially if you're not going to be all together.
Pop thrown in from Moosemen as she is flanked around all the way to the back, looking to get the kill onto the McCree. No way he can survive that. No, he does not. Now here comes the Genji Blade from the other side, trying to answer back. A man down. Can he equalize? No! She's going to pick him off as well. Fantastic shooting from the Viper. Now the Dynamite thrown over the top. The Supercharger out from Redacted. I don't know if the extra damage is enough to bounce back from this 2-man deficit.
Whoo, boy, I don't know either. And I mean, you've got to think right now. Another pair of dragons coming in from Beast, zoning them out nicely. And, man, this is on a championship point, and Redacted are absolutely fighting for their playoff lives right now.
Good news for Redacted is they got it up to 95%, I guess, by the time this Lucio gets cleared off back here. I'd already started moving my camera forward. No, he's going to buy up to 98%. So definitely only one fight necessary for Redacted to take this map and keep their hopes alive.
Indeed, and pulling out the Genji again is Gamer Inferno. But you're going to run into a 3-pack of ultimates from Moosemen. Deadeye online for Sunless. Let's see where the positioning comes up, and they are getting aggressive. They are trying to taunt cooldowns out of Redacted, and better watch your back.
Two-man shatter. Nano boost thrown onto Adhar. He's going to try to push in, but the shatter comes out from the other side. Sound barrier is used from both teams. Both teams just juiced up and having a fight here in the tiny little room. This is an interesting place for a battle. The Reinhardt's just going shield to shield, hammer to hammer, as it looked like Bob was going to try to go in and help him out, but gets demeched from Lasaga on the other side, not able to provide assistance to that Reinhardt, which means he's going to go down to some shots from Gamer, who's now turning into the back line. But both DPS back there throwing damage down into Gamer, and he's going to wisely kind of cease his assault. But I think they've done enough to recap this point and take Busan. We'll see if there's any contest coming through from Moosemen. No.
There is not. Wow.
That was one of the most exciting maps of Busan I think I've ever seen, Billy.
Whew, I'm having to actually catch my breath after that one, and as we go to 3-2 now. The reversal has started.
You know, one step at a time, one fight at a time. Redacted taking Busan, although that, good lord, that's one of the two shatters that Adhar dropped within that 60-second period. May have even been faster than that.
Ay.
Wow.
18 Earth Shatters kills, 25 Earth Shatters stuns.
That is a phenomenal stat. I also want to point out Beast Gunner getting in there with 58% of the kills.
Yeah, I mean, that was great from both sides. As we look to see what the Moosemen are going to choose here. For our next map, we are going to Hybrid?
Yes, we will be heading to Hybrid next, and we've already seen King's Row. So your options are Hollywood or Eichenwald here for our second round of Hybrid.
Yep, and as I'm looking and talking with the captains right now, I mean, that's got to put some of the wind back in the sails of Redacted. They called it the German map.
I like it. I like it. So we're headed to Eichenwald. You get your castle map after all, the German map. You get a little choked up over there, Billy.
She said the Captain Mac, I can't spell it. Dagwood coming in with the assist there, spelling it out. Let's find out what Dagwood and team from Redacted are going to do here as far as attacking or defense.
I was going to ask what your opinion would be on this map, because I think this is a pretty well-balanced hybrid map, whereas I don't think that the defenders are overly favored like they are like on a map like Rialto.
Indeed, and Dagwood taking my very wise and sage advice. They're going to defend first. So let me swap around the lobby here, and let's get that taking in. And LaFlame is going to come back in for Beastie. So
okay.
That is good.
I mean, LaFlame did good work there in the first 4 maps. So, but I mean, Beastie was huge there in that last map. I mean, that's got to be a tough call as a coach, because you got to really get those players dialed into their specialties, get the most out of them. And so far, it looked like Redacted's doing just that.
I mean, I liked what I saw from Beastie Gunner.
Agreed.
That was really good catchy play. So, wow. I mean, but, you know, teams have reasons for doing what they do. And I think they might be trying to bring in the more seasoned DPS on their team to maybe try and close this out here on map 6.
We will see if they can get it done. Of course, Moose still on map point here.
They're still on championship point. I know.
Championship point. Yeah.
I mean, it's that's a great snapback from Redacted, though. You got to love seeing that. And man, this is going to come down to. I still think this is going to come down to a 7th map.
You know, fingers crossed. One can hope. One can certainly hope. I do love me some tiebreakers, Billy. Love me some tiebreakers.
I also.
It's just exciting Overwatch, you know.
I love it too. I've been asked if a potty break would be available.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All right, on player request, we're gonna take a quick intermission, but we're gonna see you back here in beautiful Germany. Y'all don't want to go anywhere. Welcome back to Console Overwatch Multi-Tier Tournament, one of the most exciting finals you might just ever see. Moosemen up 3-2 as we head into Map 6. And Redacted trying to bounce back into this thing. Moosemen have chosen Eichenwald here for our second round at Hybrid on Championship Point, hoping they can close it out here. Obviously, Redacted, they want to send us to that Map 7.
Absolutely. LaFlame coming back in the DPS role for Redacted. Even though, you and I both said that Beastie Gunner actually did a pretty darn good job there in Busan. Decided to go back to their more senior player, I believe. That's my speculation in on it. Also, good morning, Mr. Chu. Thank you for coming back in from your nap. Having a bit of banter with the main tank player, the off tank player from Redacted in the off times, absolutely cracking me up. And Bullskunk is dying every time something comes in from him. We're going to Germany.
These teams are fun to work with. What can I say?
The teams are fun to work with. We're going to Eichenwald. I'm gonna go ahead and send us in before he.
Yeah, no, let's not waste any more time here. I'm ready to see some more action.
I'm ready to see more action. I mean, they're entertaining me. We're supposed to be the ones entertaining everybody out there, and we're getting our own little sideshow from Mr. Chu in here. I need to see if there's some kind of a plushie. I will go buy a Mr. Chu plushie if there is one right now because he's that funny. But seriously,
we're just gonna mail it to you. It's either gonna be a championship prize or a consolation prize. Let's see how you do here in Map 6.
Yep, and I mean they are going to come out on the defense. They've decided that they want to come out and defend first and see what kind of a benchmark they're going to have. But I mean, it kind of bit them in the booty on Rialto as they decided to defend first, and they got full held. So let's see if it works this time for them. I think that they have a very real chance of getting a good hold here. I like that he's bringing out the Sigma. So Ryan Sigma, the take line for the defenders here, Mercy and Anna on the healer core. The Southern Belle and Junkrat to take care of the damage.
On the side of the offense, looks like Moosemen coming out with the Reinhardt Diva. And they're going to have both of the Southern shooters once again. McCree and Ash put the hurt down.
Last time we saw this, Bullskunk, they absolutely stormed over Redacted. So they're going to have to be much better on their mettle this time. Otherwise, this is going to be a fast capture of point A.
Saga with a long distance sleep dart, slowing down Shi a little bit. Kind of getting in the back of his head there. LaFlame going to go ahead and toss a dynamite on the back, try to build up some ult charge. In fact, already at 40% towards that Butler. And finds first blood here on Eichenwald, rotated around to the back side of the tower with the Diva. A little bit of a pincer move coming through from Moosemen, and now they're going to push on to the point. She picks up a kill. Adhar takes a nap, and the rest of Moosemen push in and start trying to take over this objective. They have a major advantage. They just got to clean up the last, well, I was going to say 4 remaining members. Just tanks and supports here. There's no damage dealers from the defense. All right, there we go. Moosemen finally getting aggressive, pushing in. Using a nano boost onto the Diva to help take this point.
Yeah, I also think that was also for an ultimate gain as well to really get that self-destruct because Streets Phase, here in Eichenwald, there are so many ways to path and position. And a very well-disguised Diva Bomb, one that kind of hugs the architecture, gets around a corner last second, can absolutely be devastating to a defense.
I was spectating Sunless up on that far top left side, and a dynamite just lands right in between his legs. Look, I checked Flame, and Flame is all the way on the other side of the map, just at the gate. Like, my goodness, Flame is outstanding on this Ash, and a very aggressive posturing. The rest of Moosemen have pushed up onto this high ground. 4 ultimates ready to go. Earthshatter, the only thing being used there. All right, finding themselves in a bit of an awkward spot. Adhar's going to go ahead and fall back down, but here comes Flame once again, picking up both healers of the defense. Sunless striking back, picks up 2. Tire invested from Gamer's going to find the 3rd. No more healers left on the battlefield for either team as Sunless coach guns themselves into the pit. That is a classic Phil Graham death right there, Billy.
Self-destruct coming in, not going to pick up anybody, and they're going to be able to stabilize here. I mean, they've got the numbers. They've got the positioning. Bob's going to be invested from the Moosemen. Slept almost immediately upon arrival. You love to see that.
Yeah, Moosemen need to reset a little bit here. They're looking a little disjointed, and I think this defense might stabilize. Well, Sound Barrier invested in from the attacking team, but there's a 3-man shatter from the other side. 3 kills immediately light up the feed, and Navy just chasing out Bob on the Diva. Is going to find both the DMAC and the subsequent kill.
Yeah, but, okay. What was that gravitic flux there, Mr. Chu? You
I
already
didn't
had the
see it.
Yeah, he solo grabbed a Diva.
What? Okay. You know, atypical from Mr. Chu there, but you know, sometimes you know, it's a mental game. It's a mental game. That's what we're going with here. Butler invested from the defense here.
Oh, what a experimental barrier from Mr. Chu, denying the kills from the Deadeye. That was huge for Mr. Chu. Okay, you get some points back on my side there.
Navy coming up with a big pick as well. But there's a massive shatter. Counter shatter thrown in to deny any follow-up. And Navy actually does end up getting the best of Adhar in that engagement.
Oh, my God. That was a 4-man shatter coming in from Adhar, and Navy not to be undone. Solo shatters him back. I absolutely love that play.
Poor Sunless just died a slow death right in front of their Mercy. The res is available, fortunately.
We're having way too much fun with
this. This is a heck of a match. This is a fun match. Flank coming through from Gamer Inferno with the Deadeye. Looking to put this Deadeye down the long street. He's got to find one, but that's an important one as Oblivion goes down. Potential MVP of this match here so far, and been a big reason why Moosemen have looked so strong. LaFlame following up with a kill on the Game Informer, or Game Inferno, and then gets Sunless as well. But I don't know if it's going to be enough to counter back here.
Mr. Chu, what was that?
Mr. Chu going into the abyss. Big flashbang comes through. I thought Navy was going to be in trouble, but Nano was forced out to save the Reinhardt of the defense. And trades coming in. Mwinksy goes down. The Mercy missing now from the defense. There might be an opportunity here. Yeah, Sound Barrier used from Moosemen. I think they're going to get aggressive.
Gravitic Flux is available for Mr. Chu, though, so he can stop this right now if he feels like... Oh, what a creature!
Oh, yeah, or just hit the Lucio in the face with a boulder. That'll do it as well. Slowing down the pace dramatically, and Redacted looking to put the brakes on this thing here on the bridge.
Absolutely. I mean, they started with over 4.5 minutes. That is another hypersphere to the face of Adhar. And, man, I mean, they're looking very good here in the streets phase of Iconfall's Bullskunk. You know, Ultimate's still in their favor, but you're gonna have to look out for Self-Destruct and Deadeye. That's gonna be the two that's gonna really decide whether or not they get to point C or not.
Or Shatter online as well here for Moosemen as they approach the bridge. 49 seconds on the clock. Looking at last good fight here for Moosemen. Redacted can hold here. That could definitely set the stage to send us to a map 7. Nano Boost used on the Adhard. He's going to push in. Drop the Earth Shatter down, but it hits nothing but the shield of Navy. Navy's going to respond with a charge. Adhard tried to do the same, but the 3-man Deadeye, the big Omnic Butler in there, making his presence known. The DPS duo from Redacted shutting this thing down.
That was about as well played as you would ever love to see. And the good thing about this is Nano Boost is still available and online. Mr. Chu keeping the finger off the triangle button, going to be able to Gravitic Flux and prevent any kind of aggression coming from them.
The Nano Boost used onto the McCree. And he's going to immediately pick up the kill onto the Flame. Navy's already taken down the Reinhardt, so no more shielding. Here comes that Flux right over the bridge. I think it just found the Lucio and the Butler.
They get a touch.
Now Self-Destruct comes in as the cart is slowly inching forward here. Despite being a few men down, Moosemen find a little bit of progress on the back end. We have She coming back in on the Tracer, trying to have the presence, have the wherewithal, see if they can get something done here. But no, despite a couple of early kills from Moosemen, it looks like Redacted's answering right back. It's going to be a 3v4 on the point. What a fire strike indeed! Cutting those numbers in half for the defense. Flame able to finish off the rest. Wow, what a final fight there, Billy.
Oh my goodness, they had all the tools to stop it right there in the streets phase. And how did you...
Yeah, that was a little bit of a collapse. That was a 4v3 advantage, had the tools to do it. Flame start off with a great headshot to open up point C.
Wow.
Sleep goes down onto Adhard. Charge comes through, and Adhard with just a smidge of health left. Forced back. Fortunately, the Moira is there as we have Oblivion making a swap for one of the first times in this series. Earthshatter coming through from the defense doesn't find much. Deadeye does, though, picks off one. Now we're going to get the Pulse Bomb thrown in, but it just hit Navy's shield, able to just cleanly deflect that one away. Now Chu is going to go ahead and throw that the Flux in. Picked up the Reinhardt, slammed him back down, got the D-Mech on that. Mr. Chu battling back in here in our battle of the off-tanks.
Indeed, and I mean, winning it right now, I think that you want to have that. I think the Flux on the bridge, that just, that's a nail in the coffin of your what am I looking for? Your courage, the push. My goodness, I'm losing my words right now.
This is such an exciting match. It will just take your breath away. There's no doubt there. Coalescence and Self-Destruct, throw it in. Oh, and that's a 3-man Self-Destruct. Coalescence picking up the Reinhardt to boot. And now, Moosemen, they have clear view down towards the back of point C. Overtime Wick is a burden, though. They're going to have to be perfect from here on out if they want to pick up the 3rd point. Lucio coming back in to try to stall this thing. Sunless swapping over to the Doomfist. Lands one push and gets the Diva down low, but does eventually drop. And Earthshatter thrown in from Navy down in the back. And he does get the kill on the counterpart Reinhardt. Mr. Chu able to gobble up that Pulse Bomb. Defense making a strong case here as they have a 6v4 advantage left here on the objective. Diva able to get back and mech. Good news for Moosemen, but there's only 2 supports. Well, 1 support now, and a Diva and a McCree left on the objective. That was a Tracer left on the objective. And that is going to do it. The 3 cannot stand up to the full defense from Redacted. A good push, but win condition set here for Redacted.
You know, wow. I mean, the ultimate's being thrown out there from about 2 minutes remaining on the clock on the bridge, and then going through and almost capturing point C. You know, it has been just absolutely crazy. The value that all these ultimates got. Wow. I mean, Mr. Chu getting 2 gravitic fluxes in about 90 seconds. That was the first one for me. Showing big improvement over the last couple of maps from him.
And it was also Oblivion making that swap. And we always talk about if you force the other team to make changes, you are controlling the pace of battle. And Oblivion coming off of that Ana, I think that was very indicative. And it looks like they're going to go ahead and stick with the Moira as Moosemen head on the defense.
Indeed, and I like I like the Torb pick here. I'm not sure what their end plan is with the Torbjorn.
It's got to be in fear of the Genji. It's the only thing that makes sense in my head.
Yeah, that's about what makes sense in my head too. As you know, the gates are about to open for the offense. Mr. Chu on the Sigma. Not too shabby. Not too shabby.
Yeah, if we were talking about Bob winning the battle of the flex tanks there in the previous 2 maps, Mr. Chu making a case for himself here on Iconbolt.
Indeed, and Lasaga sticking with this Ana. I saw a couple of airborne launches of the biotic grenade and just landing with precision from way downtown.
Navy getting aggressive already. We tried to rotate around from that right side. Got checked a little bit, and they're going to be careful. Bob is still on the flank with the Diva. Oh, but suddenly Bob found in an awkward position, surrounded, demeched. Oh, but here come the reinforcements. Oh, my goodness. Moosemen, they're not allowed to their comrade die. Oh, they never kill from She. That's how you close out a fight, Billy.
Ultimate disrespect again. Hammer kill. Beating Sunless. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. That is not what you like to see. But, I mean, looking at what we're going into this next fight with, Ultimate Economy is a little bit in favor of the tanks from Moosemen, so we're going to have to see how fast this Shatter comes up online.
Looks like Nano Boost will be available for Redacted, though. They might be able to use this to beef up that Reinhardt, create some space, but there's a big Shatter from the other side. 3 kills immediately light up the feed. Here come the next 2. Mr. Chu, the only surviving member of the attacking team. And another hammer kill.
I think they're trying to get into the heads of Redacted right now, and that is just absolutely scary. to see that. Sunless dropping the McCree in favor of the Southern Belle. It has taken too many headshots from LaFlame, and they are just tired of it. They're going to bring out their own mirror of that. Bob available online for LaFlame at this moment. Also, Coalescence to keep the team up. Nano Boost maybe invested in this fight.
Nano Boost Earthshatter online for the attackers. Bob thrown in, the big old Butler that time. And, well, he gets slept immediately. No value there. Coalescence out from the defense as the Autas just trying to do their darndest to top up this team. Earthshatter comes out, finds two. It's going to prompt the sound barrier out from the other side, but the two DPS from Moosemen, well, they are back in spawn. A nice sleep dart onto the D.Va, and that's going to make for an easy charge, D-Mech, and kill. And here comes Redacted, storming back in to take point A.
Yeah, and I mean, they invested the Nano Boost. They also invested a tire and the sound barrier. So, you know, going into this next fight, you know, they're going to have Molten Core to look at. Self-destruct will also be coming online here shortly for Bob. And, yeah, I'm really looking to see how are they going to path through the streets here. Are they going to take it ultra aggressive? You've got to watch out for the self-destruct. That's the big one that I'm looking at.
I'd also like to point out that Navy used his Earthshatter during that fight and has already gotten back up to match Adhar's ult percentage. And now exceeded it.
Getting a lot of value on the German Crusader, and I like it. I think that the Ryan Sigma line for Redacted might be the strongest one that they've got.
Ooh, micro missiles from the high ground take down Gamer Inferno. Now Bob looking to come around onto the flank. It's got to be careful. They're surrounded by enemy troops here, but it's going to have to use the self-destruct to get out of harm's way, get back in the mech. It did force an interesting rotation, really a retreat, should I say, from Redacted. Moosemen right there to pounce on him. They're going to push in. They're going to get the kill onto the Moira. Onto the Junkrat, but lose their Moira in the process. Sunless able to counter back. But then Flame picking off Sunless. It just seems to be tit for tat here on the point. But Redacted still with a one-man advantage over the objective, not counting the Butler.
Indeed, I mean, they've gone ahead and invested a new sound barrier from Fergalicious into this to try and keep everybody up and moving because the ultimates are coming online for Redacted. This could be an absolutely crucial turn here. What a shatter coming out from Adhar, though.
Yeah, with the counter shatter the other way, not nearly as valuable as the lava was thrown over the point. Molten Core burning down Navy. And Moosemen standing their ground here with 2:20 on the clock.
You know, and I'm not I'm not mad about the counter shatter. I think that with the Molten Core around you, I think you just take the L there, save your shatter for the next fight, and then really aggress with that into the next one. Bob's going to be available, though. I think maybe if they can try to do some kind of combo with the Gravitic Flux and the Bob, that might be an option to them, not your normal standard one. But, you know, we'll see.
Big Omnic Butler on the field here for the defense. Excuse me, for the offense. Charge out of nowhere. Adhar was hiding back in that room and kidnapped the Ana, taking her all the way back. Torb able to answer back, finds one, finds two, and now there's just three members of Redacted left on the point. Easy cleanup for Moosemen.
I think at this point, Lasaga has to give up the Ana and go mirror the Moira because the Moira was just pumping out so many heals right now.
Yeah.
And you're getting out supported right now. That's the first thing. The second thing, we just see Gamer Inferno lose the Junkrat in favor of a sniper of their own. So reset the ultimate economy. That's a damn hard pill to swallow, especially when you're with a minute left and you're stuck on the first corner here in the streets phase.
Oh my goodness, leaping off the top ropes comes Adhar with the pin to steal Navy away, and he goes down. The Gravitic Flux on the other side will put some hurt onto the defense, but there's no follow-up to it. The sound barrier there just to make sure the defense maintains their positioning.
Oh my goodness, both tank ultimates are online. You also have the Coalescence available. You also have Molten Core available. 30 seconds left on the clock. This is championship point. We're up 3-2. Moosemen here in the Tier 3 finals, and they've got to come through with something special just to get around this corner.
Oh yeah, Redacted way behind in the ult economy. I fear for him on this fight. This is going to take an absolute spectacular performance to overcome. We're going to get the Earth Shatter self-destruct thrown in to start things off. Coalescence thrown in from the defense as well. So far, nothing to show for it. Okay, they do eventually take down Mwinksy on the heel roll. We're going to get Mr. Chu falling as well. Torbjorn does go down for the defense, but it's been all Moosemen from there. It looks like they've done it. There goes the overtime wick. There goes Eichenwald. Moosemen are your Tier 3 champions with a 4-2 victory.
Whoo! I think we need a second to exhale. As it was pretty much nonstop action from the first map through map 6 here. As you see, IME Moosemen take the championship here in the PS4 Tier 3 division. And man, what a stellar night tonight of gaming. Man, Moosemen coming up clutch when it really matters. Yeah. I think their compositions is what won them the night.
I mean, yeah, there's definitely a lot to dissect here in this one that we certainly don't have time to do justice. I think it would take another hour to dissect this series appropriately, but with the compositional choices they made, I'd say Moosemen gave themselves an easier trek here. It kind of felt like Redacted was fighting a bit of an uphill battle on some of these things, and we saw the difference once they swapped to the Rhino Risa, and how much more ground and how much more control they were able to exert over the maps and over their opponent. But in the end, Moosemen just too much for them to handle here. Oof.
I mean, it was a hell of a night.
That was a hell of a series.
I mean, the series was just, it was all that you wanted. I mean, the plot line thickened every time Redacted would come back and really show their fangs and show what they brought to the table. But, you know, we've got to bring out an MVP for the night. And for me, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page here. We've been talking about them all night. And Oblivion Anima in the support role, bringing out the Ana for a lot of this series, just looking absolutely spectacular. And then the Moira there on the back end, putting out so much healing. A big reason why Moosemen are your Tier 3 champions.
Indeed, you know, pairing up with Fergalicious in that support line, I think that's the absolute reason why Moosemen are your champions here. Anima, or Oblivion Anima, your MVP for our grand finale here in Tier 3. And Bullskunk, it's been a freaking pleasure again.
Yeah, this has been a fun one. I mean, just absolutely exciting. It's a thrilling matchup. I hope you all have enjoyed it at home as much as we have enjoyed bringing it to you. And really going back to the MVP, I mean, anybody from Moosemen could have been in that slot. Like it was just stellar stuff, really from both teams. Wow. Like I don't even have much more to say than that. Just awesome. Just awesome.
It's very rare that we are rendered speechless, and just what we saw tonight from both teams. I mean, Redacted, if you can hear this, trust me, you have nothing to hang your heads about whatsoever.
Tip of the hats to you, team. I mean, that's a well-deserved second place as far as across the series. Not necessarily two Moosemen, but being in the top tier. You know, that did not come out right. That did not come out right.
Mr. Drew, you did not let me down.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. All right. On that note, before I trip over myself any further here, we'll go ahead and close it out. Any final thoughts, Billy, before we take it home?
Oh my God, I love both these teams, and I love this the community that we have been so warmly welcomed into here in the PlayStation Overwatch community. You guys freaking rock. You make us laugh. Thank you for welcoming us, and we'll see you next season.
You damn Skippy, we will. Well, y'all have a wonderful night. Remember, look out for each other in game and out as always, and we will see you soon. Thank you so much. Bye, folks.
Bye. Love y'all. Mwah.